All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome in Matt, Shock, Ferox, Tivo, our early birds here. Ferox doesn't count. Ferox will be joining me once again on the mic today. And yeah, we're about to get started with yet another community showcase. Tonight is Classic Score Attack. I'm Austin with Enhance, and Ferox is joining me. How are you doing tonight, Ferox?
Hello, I'm doing good.
All right. So you are the resident Classic Master, am I correct? Classic Score Attack.
I think that's you. I think you beat me in a 3-2 decider.
Thank you.
Last tournament. Yeah. I think that's why you're playing against I believe Netlo.
Oh shoot, is Netlo playing tonight?
In fact, let me go get Netlo up real quick. Let me see.
Well, let's not jump to no haste on that front. But yes, we have Classic Score Attack, the classic version of Tetris you may be familiar with, whether it's the Classic Tetris World Championship, if you owned it on the NES in 1989. It is here in Tetris Effect Connected as an effect mode for single player if you're just trying to... if you don't like all that funny business, if you like the old version of Tetris, it's there. And we have head-to-head versus in multiplayer, which we'll be playing tonight. Welcome in, Got You Sauce, Ignacia. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, our first match is Mac and Cheesy and Shock, and they are here in the lobby. We're about to be on time here. When you two are ready, I'm ready. Good luck, have fun, you two. And yeah, if anyone else is just tuning in and wants to play, I think we have some time for some extra matches. Otherwise, we'll get our 3-day weekend started a little early. But yeah, join the Discord at discord.gg/enhance, and you are welcome to play. Anyone is welcome, all skill levels. This is supposed to be the chill competitive. There's plenty of competitive out there. So, all right, looks like our players are here. We got Shock on the right, Mac and Cheesy. Let's get my face out of here. Bloop. Mac and Cheesy on the left, and good luck, have fun. What is our level start going to be? We get a lot of level 5 starts.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I think they agreed on 5.
That is kind of like one of the... at some point you could pick level 5 to 7, I believe. I know that because I have family that starts at level 5 when they play. I try my best not to backseat game when I'm watching people play Tetris that are not... family members play Tetris that have not put in the hours that I have put in. Oh, is Shock even here?
Oh, Shock is...
Tree strats?
Not the tree strat.
Does he actually go for tree strats? He might be. Okay, he wants to start over. We can start over. I think Mac and Cheesy is probably listening in too.
Oh, yeah.
I thought for a second you were actually... So tree strats is like a speedrunning thing where you kind of stack up the middle and then you try to Tetris. That'd be a kind of a big brain move on a level 5 start. but I don't expect that out of Shock.
I expect that out of all of our players equally. Oh, Linux issues, gotcha.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of Linux players now, thanks to Steam Deck in particular.
We love Steam Deck. All right, we're back on level 5.
Okay. They had a similar start. Sometimes in classic Tetris, players they do have the same pieces, same piece set here in Tetris Effect. So there are going to be situations where you see players stack the same, which is always cool to see that their head is in the same space, same headspace.
Yeah.
Especially at the highest level, it's like always super cool when you see them have the same stack for like, I don't know, 10 lines in a row until they finally deviate.
I am gonna say I do think they ended up placing the second piece in a different spot, so it wasn't as it wasn't repeating as often.
Right, right.
But definitely in general, just seeing players just play the same way is interesting.
So Shock with a pretty clean start so far, having to take some burns. Probably just trying to keep it nice and low. And Mac and Cheesy had kind of an early hiccup, but looking like they're poised to get back into that 9-0 with the Tetris wall on the right, which is the optimal way to play classic score attack. You don't need to do any crazy T-spin setups or anything. This is the way to play classic. With that being said, you can get creative with center wells, and depending on the pieces you're dealt, because they are pure random, you're going to run into situations where you might want to get a little creative, set up tucks, set up spins, stuff like that. But generally, especially if you're starting out and not competing at the highest level, like just go for that 9-0 and take the burns. And taking burns and keeping a 9-0 well will take you very far, surprisingly far.
Yeah, Shock's over here trying to transition into the 9-0 well, but I think for a while they were going for a Tetris on the 7-2 stack.
Mm-hmm.
Then recently they just weren't able to get the right pieces to transition. And Mac and Cheesy gets the Tetris with that signature 9-0, but it looks like they might be deviating into two different wells at the same time. No, they got the eyepiece. Just in time.
So this 2-wide from Mac and Cheesy isn't that bad. There's a lot of pieces that can extend this into a Tetris. If they choose to do so. You can throw any piece down that right well, right? So it's generally safe. Maybe not the most efficient, but yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, if you have a 2-wide and you're waiting for long bars, that can be probably a little more greedy, and you can be rewarded for that, right? But oftentimes you'll see someone use an L or a J to just create that Tetris, or even a T piece.
Shots are never fun to deal with.
Yeah, this is pretty much managing your board until you get long bars is the name of the game here. Mac and Cheesy with a clean stack says coffee and Tetris.
Shock's kind of in an interesting board state here. A little bit jagged, but they find the right piece, or they got the right pieces here to make it flatter. Which also comes into play for this for Classic. A lot of it comes down to whether or not you can stack as cleanly as possible, but also not making it too clean. Each piece has its own like set of things that they like to have in the stack.
Yeah.
O pieces love 2-wide or just flat areas in general. T pieces, Z's and S really like jagged areas. So being able to find a way to like combine both of those in a like flat stack, but there's still a spot for your ZS T pieces is pretty much the name of the game.
Yeah, good T-piece management is very important for kind of making sure it's not too clean in a way, or not too jagged. Yeah, I've got to be careful with your T-piece placement. But if it's too clean, I mean, there's ways you can work around it, but it gets a little more advanced, like, because if you get an S and Z, what are you going to do with it, right? You kind of want to set up tucks and stuff like that, but even then, generally I recommend having a high left and a lower right, and you can kind of slope that way, and within that slope, not like crazy or anything, but it kind of will accommodate any piece. This double square is a little rough. I would go with that move as well, but yeah, you just got to be careful. Look at that jaggedness on Mac and Cheesy's board, right? This is a good concession right there. I like that move. Just kind of nipping it in the bud, and you can clear that row when you come across it later.
Nice decision there to wait with the L piece as well. Even though you could set it up on the right side to try to go for a skim, sometimes you see that you get the I piece, and it's a lot better to just go for the Tetris and then worry about the row later by being able to tuck something, or not tuck something, but like find a way to clear it.
Tricky spin tuck was necessary there. Had the right idea. Kind of had a rough series of pieces there, but you can burn your way through it, and before you know it, you can be back in a scoring position. But Shock is not necessarily ready to score Tetrises anyways. There's such a score bonus for Tetrises that as long as your opponent isn't scoring Tetrises while you're down stacking, you shouldn't fret too much. Like, they can't capitalize as much as you would think. As I say that, though, Shock is not Tetris ready and can start to garner a bit of lead, but still needs the luck of the long bar to show up.
Yep. I think Mac and Cheesy might be trying to go for some sort of secret right now that I'm looking at it.
So Prophecy T-spin possibly here. Here we go. T-spin setup.
Tetris there for Shock. Might be a little bit delayed, but yeah, this is where we start to see like maybe sometimes you don't necessarily need to go all out on the dig. You might be able to just down stack, and then Shock sees that this is a pretty good time for you to get a Tetris and then find a bit of a skim afterward to clear up the well. Although they aren't really going for it. I think they might be trying to go for another Tetris stack here. That's a rough misdrop.
Mac and Cheesy took some risk with that stack. It didn't really pan out, didn't really get the right pieces, but is doing a good job of just damage control, I guess, bringing it down regardless.
Same here with Shock. They ended up trying to go for... They weren't really taking the skims at the start. I think they were trying to set up for a Tetris. And then they hung the J piece all the way at the start, and I think Mac and Cheesy's also doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start entering the dig portion of the game.
Yeah, let's see if Mac and Cheesy can clean up. They're really, they are behind by how many lines now? About 20 lines, so can't really get caught up if they start scoring. Like, the lead is not insurmountable here by any means. And it depends on who plays better in these later levels anyway. There's still a lot of runway potential, especially if Shock can't play super late game.
Yeah. But I think Shock's trying to set up here another Tetris, either to open up the well in the center or trying to get, unfortunately it's just too eye dependent, and we're now in an 18, 19, 20. The draw just keeps going on.
Yeah,
21.
This is tough. Ooh, that hang. That might be it for Mac and Cheesy there with that hang. And Shock is good with a pretty clean game here. Nicely done.
Yep, it is.
All right, and I think Shock has some family festivities to get to and can enjoy it with the high of the win here. But Mac and Cheesy, thanks for playing, and good games to you both. Nice display. All right, so who is up next? Welcome in, Nathan. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, Got Yo Sauce and Cool Matt are up. Got some regulars.
Yep.
All
so
right.
then just remember, room code this time is actually ZYXW. So good luck to everyone finding it.
By the way, Ferox mentioned it before we started. We were talking in voice here that there was a ping to the tournaments channel, community tournaments for the Galactic League. I believe there's a Zone Battle League and a Classic Score Attack League. So if you're looking to up your game in Classic, I believe, are they Swiss brackets, Ferox?
Yeah,
Like
it's Swiss bracket.
So with the Swiss bracket, you're going to likely end up playing people of your skill level later on. So you'll get a lot of matches if you're just looking for practice and stuff like that. Swiss brackets are usually my favorite kind of tournament format to play into, especially if they have like and Galactic does, where it has like a bracket based off of your Swiss placement, right? But definitely check that out if you're looking for a Zone Battle or Classic Score Attack tournament. I played in the off season just to. I like to gauge, our community tournaments and stuff. So as a player, that's the best way to gauge it, right? They're getting started. So we got Matt on the left, got you Sauce on the right. But yeah, definitely check out the Galactic tournament that was just pinged in the community tournaments channel on our Discord.
Yep.
And Galactic has some nice tools for running tournaments and stuff. Like a lot of it's automated, so it gets rid of the headache. But yeah, go ahead, Ferox. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, I was just talking about the Simul Tetris that they had. But Matt's kind of in an awkward spot here. But I just thought let's get another Tetris.
Not with a rough start, but it had a nice cleanup there. Can still build up something here on the left, decides to burn it down. That is the wise move.
Yeah.
Generally, I recommend in Classic, if you already have a mess, just clean it up. You're going to have to clean it up at some point anyways if the level advances, so might as well do it early, especially while the scoring is lower. And just kind of get it out of the way. You're more bound to err. I mean, at a certain point, say you're only 1 or 2 rows up and you are confident that you can cleanly maybe throw in a Tetris or 2 while you downstack. That is also ideal, but kind of playing to your strengths. And as a general rule of thumb, not always the case, just try to downstack before you score. So Matt,
kind of running into
when did you pick up Classic? Was it through Tetris Effect?
What are we calling Classic here? Because I'm trying to think about so would you consider N blocks to be Classic?
Oh my god, showing my age. So no, I'm talking like the NES version of Tetris. So
NES, okay. Yeah. I think it was 2020.
Okay, so maybe before you did play it before Tetris Effect.
Yeah, I played it a little bit before Tetris Effect came out on an emulator because my NES was not working. And so then it came out. Matt might end up topping out here.
We can run this back. That was pretty quick. Yeah, you two are welcome to run that back.
Run it back. Game 2 is about to start. But I played the NES version for like a few months before Tech came out on the Xbox, and then I played it on the Xbox itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing more modern afterward.
Oh, okay. So did you actually play that version before you played like Zone Battle and stuff like that, or I guess modern versus?
I played for a while. I played a lot of Classic for a while. I think I was just trying out like Zone Battle in like local because I was like, oh, okay, this like. Because, like, here's the thing. I've played Modern Tetris before because I was playing it on the Tetris.com site.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the first game that I actually took seriously was Classic Score Attack. And then it went over to Zone Battle.
I actually don't know if I knew that. I was expecting a different talking point. I had a different narrative to go down there. Oh, Matt in some trouble.
Yeah, Matt going for
clutch it out. Oh my god. Do it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
unfortunately,
one more.
Back here. Yeah, one more. This one never happened.
If you clutched that out, though, that would have been the coolest thing ever.
It is extremely important when playing Classic to make sure that you don't try to building up too many spires. Like, ideally, you don't want to build up a section of your board too high, unless maybe it's, like, right next to a wall.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, you don't want to make 2 different columns that do the same thing. especially if they're like further apart or if they're like covering up the well.
Oh, it's Matt here. Matt, you're welcome to do one more.
Yeah.
There were some short rounds. Try to give everyone at least 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
It especially in classic that happens to the best of us. So, oh, there we go. May have been showing their room code. But yeah, Matt, ready up if you're down to play one more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you see me emoting in the background with a thumbs up, that means that.
Oh, that's a good thing to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I like that.
And I don't normally emote in general in this game, so you know that I'm not doing this by accident.
That's a good idea. I don't know why I haven't thought about that, because there's usually a lag on stream too, and I'm not always typing in the Discord. Let's make a habit of that. Yeah. Thumbs up means you can play one more. I like that.
I will start spamming everything else in order to tell people to leave.
With a heart. With peace and love, please leave.
Yeah. It's going to be a bunch of sweaty modes and then a heart right at the end. But I played a bunch of like Tetris or like Tetris variants on and off for like years until NES Tetris and Classic Score Attack. So I don't know what narrative you were looking for there, Shen.
Yeah, I think I would have guessed that you were, because you kind of lean more into the modern modes now, right?
Yeah, I play more modern than classic now.
Yeah, I would have guessed that you maybe found classic through Tetris Effect, which a lot of people have, right?
Yeah.
But no, interesting that it's the other way around, and it actually kind of makes sense that you like Score Attack so much. How it's like kind of a hybrid of all the old school Tetrises in the balance, right? But okay, well, we're off to a pretty clean start here.
Yep. Gotcha Sauce waiting for the long bar to show up here. Now that they have Tetris well ready, there it is. Tetris for Gotcha Sauce. Matt was able to get a few more Tetrises. Here's another one. Boom, Tetris. I think this is now a 2 Tetris lead now that we're at level 9 starts.
Yes. Because it's what? 18?
1200 times. Yeah.
It's half of whatever level 18 is. So.
It's like 24. We definitely know our math.
I think it's... At 18, I think it's 18,200, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Maybe? Because I think we just saw Gotcha Sauce got 12,000 points here.
I might be totally wrong.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. Like they heard us, they're like, "Oh yeah, let's just go for a Tetris here to help out the commentators." Remember?
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's 22,800. I might be like mildly dyslexic about it.
Yeah.
But all right. Either way, we're off to a pretty good start.
We're off to a good start, but Gotcha Sauce is in a pretty bad spot here with that overhang.
Nice tuck there.
Nice idea. Yeah, nice idea there with the tuck.
Should make it a little.
It's just we're gonna have to cover a lot of them. Yeah. But Matt's got their own dig here also to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
I like that O placement though, waiting for the T piece and then being able to find a better skim than just like dropping the O piece down the center. Really good. It might not have even been a micro adjustment, they were just planning it from the start.
Well, nice down stacking so far from Matt. And hey, Gotcha Sauce is gonna go. Oh, almost
dirty touch here.
Almost hung
No
along
five.
there. That was up pretty high. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay,
a
extremely
brave move.
Yeah.
There we go.
Are they gonna
Pays
get
off.
Hey, okay, let's go. Another Tetris. Are they gonna go for another one? Or yeah, they just okay. This is completely understandable. Oh, okay, they have to move the O pieces. Yeah. Although I think it does end up making the stack a little bit jagged on both sides, but the down stacking here is really good.
Maybe not the most efficient, but I think it was still okay for down stacking purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Matt is realizing this, and now they're gonna go. Okay, they were trying to go for their own Tetrises, but I think they're now just full on down stacking here. Nope.
Ooh, could go. Yeah, okay, has a Tetris here.
Okay.
I like setting up Tetrises
Oh.
like to. I usually cap it out at 3 rows up. I try to downstack if it gets too high, but.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah,
Matt did get a point on the board here with a cleaner start, and no more running it back.
One
We have
bar?
too many run backs.
We don't need to run it back anymore. This one was in fact 4 minutes. So I spam what? Heart emotes? That is not the heart emote. I'm on the wrong side.
Oh,
That is not the
smile.
heart emote. That is not the heart emote. Okay.
Oh,
You can tell I
nice.
don't know my emotes. I just know which one is a thumbs up, and that's it.
On the I think I know it better on controller, because I usually use the thumbs up only too, as a like a GG kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so good games, you two. And up next is TiVo and Coffee and Tetris. So make your way into the lobby. Our hype man TiVo, Coffee and Tetris are regular. I feel like Coffee and Tetris playstyle plays really nicely into Classic, so TiVo, you might have a challenge ahead of you, but I believe in the TiVo.
I believe both players are regulars in the showcase.
Yeah.
I think this matchup has happened a few times in Classic as well.
The code is in Discord. TiVo, here, I'll ping it again for you.
Yep. Should be able to. Right there. Yeah, just reading out the code right now. It is in fact G42Z. I repeat, it is G42Z. Good luck, everyone.
There you go, stream snipers.
I will ping it for you just in case you need to also see it.
What was our... We have like a Hall of Fame of room codes for tournament hosting. We had some good ones during TECWC.
We've had some good ones. Yeah.
We had something that was like GG easy or something. Too easy. I can't remember what it was.
GG2Z, I think, was, yeah. Like maybe something like GGU2.
Yeah, something like that. Something that was a good fit. I'm sure if we search it, it's probably in one of our archived channels here.
Yep.
I think it was GGU too. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Matt, you had a... Oh, that happens to everyone in Classic. You're going to have some rough rounds. It's called Club Zero. I don't think you were quite in Club Zero, but I've joined Club Zero in competitive. That's when you top out with no points scored, and that happens to the greediest, happens to the best. Right, have you joined Club Zero, Paradox?
In a competitive setting, I don't actually know.
I have. I didn't want to admit it, but I have. I
don't think I've ever
knew it was
played
coming,
like
and I was trying to
yeah.
soft drop, so I'm like, oh, I can't join Club Zero. I was trying to join Club
No.
12 points, but it didn't happen.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just a friendly reminder to always soft drop so you get points here, everyone.
Yeah, if you're in a really close situation, if it comes down to push out points, you better be pressing down for those extra bonus points. TiVo, are you on the way? Oh, sorry. We are joking about that code, TiVo. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Tio, this is not the room code. This is for stream snipers.
It's in the Discord. Are you on the Discord?
Yeah, I think we pinged you twice with the room code in Discord.
Yeah. Try to keep it a Discord because we will have bad actors from time to time, as it has happened.
Unfortunately,
There
it
you
has
are,
happened. Yeah.
All right. I'm ready when you two are ready. Good luck. Have fun.
All right, I do think they agreed on level 7. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think they were talking about choosing between level 7 and level 9, so we're about to see some pretty colors here that usually you don't see Especially in the starting levels, because I don't think anyone really chooses like 7 or 17.
I like 7. It's like a nice chill pace, but it's still like, okay, you can't think too long still.
Yeah.
9 could be a bit overwhelming for some people, so yeah, this is a good in between.
Yeah. 7 and 17 just unfortunately don't start a new speed level, to my knowledge. Because like whenever you're trying to play in classic and ranked, and you choose between like 15 and 18, you almost always see players choose either 15 or 18.
Yeah, because if you pick 18, it's the same speed level as 16 and 17. But if you pick 18, you get higher scores. So why not get higher scores? I guess is usually the main reasoning, right? Especially if you're like trying to get a new PB or something. Typically, you start at 18 over 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm. And then there are a few players who do end up choosing either 16 or 17, either to like try and throw people off, or because it helps them adjust themselves so that whenever they're getting to level 18, they don't end up overstacking for level 19.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a pretty good choice, but
it's like a reminder because the color change is going to happen sooner.
Yeah.
I feel like usually the reason is to throw people off, especially if you pick 15 over 18, which is allowed in our classic score tag tournaments.
Yeah. I think whenever I choose 15, it's because I see that the player's SR is kind of far away, and it ends up being a battle of like, do I just want the win, or do I want to have a good game?
Yeah, I usually resort to emote speak in that situation. Like, I'll hover 15, I'll hover 18, and I'm looking for any thumbs up or something. Yeah, because like believe it or not, I play this game for fun, Ferox, and I want to make sure my teammates are not my teammates, my opponents are.
Wait, you play for fun? No way. Wait, you can do that?
Yeah, and I want my opponents to have a good time too, and I want a challenge too. So at the same time, I don't want my opponent to not be able to like keep up with me, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I will use that advice next time I choose level 17 against you in Sport Tech. And not because I'm trying to throw you off.
There will be times maybe where I'll pick 18 if I'm like, if I need a quicker game. 15 could take a little longer. Anyways, Morg with a small lead. Ooh, I think Tiva trying to make an adjustment there. Well, actually, this placement could be worse. You can fix that with another long bar or a J piece. Looks like we're gonna wait for the long bar now.
We do need to see another long bar here, and it looks like
there are some skim options. That works.
Yeah,
I like that. I still kept the well open with it too.
Okay, there we go. Nice.
Nicely done.
All right, now we just need another I or LP or JP. Sorry, I definitely know my shapes. Can we hit a 30 Tetris? Oh, this is going to be a little bit tricky now.
Not the best pieces being dealt either.
Yeah. Okay, we have good choice there with the taking the double there, or trying to go for the triple in general.
Yeah, nicely done so far from Tivo, actually. Keeping alive. That's the name of the game, survival in Classic.
Yeah. They might be able to get out of this here. There's a T piece. Maybe an I?
There we go.
There's the I. Alright, cool. We take the down stack triple there. This does end up giving Morg a pretty sizable lead, though, because they have been able to go for Tetrises. But as long as you survive, you can fight.
Right. In Classic, you can always bank on your opponent messing up. Players are very accident prone or mistake prone in Classic because of how the tempo of the game goes, and then depending on the random RNG, there's usually a chance you can get caught up if you bring your A game from this point forward, right?
Yeah, or you can do what Tivo did here with a pretty dirty touches
That was
there
sick.
on row.
Yeah.
Yeah, counting to 4 there.
So TiVo kind of locking in ever since being up towards pretty much as high as it gets there.
Yeah.
Before it becomes
Unfortunately, just
unfeasible.
really rough sequences. Opposite not go for the single there.
Got
All right, we're gonna get another Tetris.
Nice. The 1-8 well.
Let's go. Dirty Tetris there.
If anything, Classic is a game where 8-1 wells aren't the worst, because you can still 2 wide over top of it. Generally, you want to have the long bar on the right side or left side, towards the center still, but
I think Tivo just being high up naturally makes him transition here first. It looks like those are a lot of eyepieces.
I think going for the high left, if you don't know where to put a piece, that's usually a good place to put it. It's harder to get pieces to the left, so if you do end up stacking higher and need to be thinking on the fly, it's more... It won't take you as long to take a piece to the right side because of how pieces spawn in Classic, so throwing a piece to the left if you're not sure what to do is usually the right play, especially if you can't really process the most optimal move in the moment.
I do like what Morg here has. There's 3 holes in the stack, but they're all in the same row, so it's only going to be 1 row where you have to worry about afterward. But we are entering level 9 here for Morg and then level 10 for Tivo. It looks like both players are trying to find a well here.
Nathan saying, if you're down stacking, I'd recommend not blocking the hole that you're trying to transfer to. Otherwise, then you will have to clear out your own line to get back to that column. Yeah. Generally, yeah. But there are going to be some situations where it's like you have to make concessions in a sense. You can still, kind of like in Modern, it's called counting to 4 over a certain well when you're down stacking, right? You can kind of do that equivalent in Classic, where say you'll clear a Tetris. You just don't want to jeopardize, as long as survival isn't being hindered, I guess.
Yeah. This is a pretty clean stack here from Tivo. I think Morg is trying to count to 4 here, but unfortunately gets the eyepiece a little bit too early. But yeah, the whole idea on like down stacking is its own like just entire like category of like learning how to play Tetris, regardless if it's on Modern or on Classic.
Yeah.
And that's why I will have Shun pull up my 150-page PowerPoint on how to downstack.
Let's do it.
We might be over-exaggerating just a little bit here.
All right, well, hey, we're getting into later levels in what seemed like was going to be an early top out for Tivo, so very nicely done. And is actually making a dent in that lead that Morg had. It was around 60k earlier, so the later the levels get, the more these Tetrises are worth. If Tivo can nab a few Tetrises here, especially, it seems like Morg is going to be less comfortable on these higher speeds. This game's not over.
Yep. Although that lead has been shrinking slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Which is down to about, might still be 1 or 2 Tetrises now, but Morg can't really capitalize on getting any Tetrises here. And Tivo is Tetris ready, but that is a really awkward misdrop there with the Z piece.
Risking it for the biscuit, gets it.
1 more? Okay, there we go. Cuts the lead down in half. Morg ends up misdropping the T piece there, which kind of buys a bit more time for Tivo, but it looks like they're trying to juggle 2 different wells at the same time. No line clears.
Ooh, this is tough.
Oh,
the squaring.
Unfortunate.
Oh, that was a good game though.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Tivo.
Yep. And GG's there, Morg. Let's see if they want to mull in this or not.
I appreciate taking the risk though, especially I don't know how comfortable you are, Tivo, if that was intentional, just to kind of like, okay, we're just going to go for it, because if we get into the later speeds, I'm already going to be cooked anyways, right? Which is a good mentality. Like, that's how I play going into 29 against when I can roll. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good game. Nice comeback for sure.
Yeah, they're really good. They were really good decisions there. Unfortunately, I think the only thing that just caught you off guard were those double wells. Um, Again, back to my 150 PowerPoint presentation on how to downstack. Slide 56, skimming when you have two wells on both sides. I will not show any examples here because we are behind on time, definitely, obviously.
Oh, of course. Oh,
I forgot to start it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Tables have turned. I'm the one using the bot commands correctly this time. No, I'm kidding. So Ignacia and Grasspelt, you are up. Oh, and it looks like Ignacia agreed to Grasspelt's terms of the custom settings. Very cool. So I think
they did end up agreeing with a few of the decisions. I do know that they were trying to go for PAL earlier.
Oh, that's a tough.
But Ignacia ended up saying no. We're going to do NTSC. Actually,
PAL
we
is
might end up having to do
yeah.
PH before.
Oh, okay. Sure. Does PH have an opponent?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, for those that are not familiar, you can do this in the effect mode as well. You can switch to the PAL mode, and there's a separate leaderboard for PAL, which is the European version. So the frame rate was different based on the hardware of the NES that was shipped to the Americas and Europe back in the day. So there was a different version of Tetris for the European region, and probably some of Asia as well, where the piece movement is actually faster when you move it left and right. And level 19 was considered the kill screen. You can actually play that kill screen with DAS. So I actually have played a lot of PAL, and I recommend you trying it if you haven't already. Definitely give it a go on the effect modes and stuff like that. It feels really fun to play. It's actually, the piece movement kind of feels like the piece movement in, say, Zone Battle, or like what you're used to in modern Tetris. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I really like the PAL version. So we're going to have PH and Nathan. All right, make your way to the lobby. And, oh, I think Ignacia, you are up next. Yeah.
PH ended up having to play their match a little bit earlier.
If you can wait one more, that would be most excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. So we got PH versus Nathan. When you two are ready, I'm ready. Good luck, have fun.
Mm-hmm. Did we change any settings? We did not.
We did not know.
We will leave that for the grand finale. Yeah, both players are ready. I don't know what speed level they decided on, but I think we might see a bit of... It's definitely got to be the upper, like it's got to be in the 10s, surely, right? Or are we going to see a level 9?
This might be a 9. I would guess around 9, but here's the thing.
If this isn't level 29 speeds, I'm out.
Nathan and PH picked up rolling. Level 0.
Level 0. Oh.
We can roll at 0.
All right. Oh, I see. What speed do you want? PH chose any, so they decided on 0. Fair enough.
Hey, 0 start's gonna be fun. It's also brutal if you are. It's a good counter pick to somebody that plays a lot of Classic, because it has a different movement to it. Because you can't really tuck very easily. There's a tempo to each level, right? That you kind of get used to. People are not acclimated to level 0 starts, so it can be a fun counter pick and just a different way to play. It has the most runway too, so if you are quick with the soft drops and stuff like that, you can try to force a 2-minute timer on a level 0 start more than you could on other levels.
There is, in fact, counterplay here. for both sides.
One of my favorite side events at the Classic Tetris World Championships is a 0 to 19 speedrun. And I mentioned the tree strats earlier, but yeah, the most optimal way to clear lines quickly is to get your board towards the top and then start Tetrising so you can minimize the amount of time it takes for your piece to soft drop.
Yeah. And we kind of see the whole amount of time that it takes to actually soft drop a piece now that PH was trying to go for a T-spin there. With that like extra second or two of delay, having to wait for the piece to actually drop one final row. Tetris ready here. Nathan trying to find one final Mino here to get Tetris ready, but I think they might be behind on now the eyepieces.
Yeah, you can play a little greedier on this level for sure. I mean, the soft drop, the gravity is so low that you can really kind of build to the sky if you want. You just have to be careful when the levels do advance that you're back into a lower area.
Yeah, if you don't have 100% Tetris rate on level 0, I will personally show up to your house and be disappointed, I guess.
Yeah, even if you have a drought of 60, there's no excuse.
Exactly.
I just thought of a cursed rule set. I don't want to even say it because Grasspelt is listening.
I feel like I know what you're going to be saying here, but yeah, Nathan is now also running the same issue of the double well situation. And they ended up biting the bullet a little bit early here, trying to go for some scams, but it looks like we are stuck in a little bit of a drought. 15 pieces is in fact a drought, so they are able to use that eyepiece just in time, but they still have a lot of skimming to do here if they want to clean up their stack. And that just gives more time for PH to get more Tetrises. And I think this lead is now up to about, what's what, 1200 times 4 times 5? It's like 3 or 4 Tetris lead.
Yeah, we don't have the technology that CTWC has to let us know that up front. So
it is 7,000 points right now. I saw the score. Yeah, exactly. we are seeing the score change. I'm trying to do the math in my head. 1,200 times whatever the speed level is, and I can't remember if it's +1 afterward.
It is funny that used to be like a commentator skill, is able to do the math on the Tetrising and like stuff like that on the fly. Whereas now you pretty much don't have to for the biggest tournaments. But anywho, oh yeah, Grasspelt. I was joking that I had an idea for a really cursed level 0 rule set, but I didn't want to say it because you were listening and you probably want to play. In jest.
I think what Shen is saying is that he will 100% play against you in that rule set if you want to agree to it. Maybe next time.
I was thinking like level 0 only ultra. I don't know. It sounds...
That will be brutal.
Some kind of expansion on that.
Yeah. Although PH is kind of in an awkward spot here now. They do have another good spot for that eye. But that right side is kind of extremely, J dependent. They do get lucky with it, but they just don't have a good spot for that S piece. And I think they are, they're going to try and wait for that T piece. There it is. T-spin 0, let's go. Unfortunately, did not score any points, but we take it.
Ooh, nice tuck.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not the no rotation.
It's a long bar, though? Oh, my goodness.
Okay, there's a triple. Needs another J piece or an I piece. There's the I piece, but that right side is also asking for another JLI piece.
We get it, we get it.
Beautiful pieces, beautiful down stack. They don't have to open up the well immediately, but they do it with the I piece here. And Nathan's just able to go ahead and get a clean board.
Yeah, this is Nathan's time to get caught up. As long as PH survives, though, should be able to maintain that lead, as they do have a higher Tetris rate. That's why survival is so much more important. Even if you are going to 60, 70% Tetris rate, in the end, if the 35%, 40% Tetris rate player survives, they will win the game if it goes on.
Yeah. Oh, that is a very interesting spot here for Nathan. That S misdrop. Yeah, just ended up having to take that purple instead.
Oh, you know what actually sounds like a fun rule set? Because I do like the speed run, 0 to 19 speed run. You could do level 0, first player to 200 lines cleared wins, only level 0. You could do that in TEC, I think. Not to give any ideas, but...
All right, the next tournament that we're going to have is just going to be that.
That would be so silly.
The Shen Special, 0 to 200.
I think it is fun to have, because like soft dropping is a skill in itself, right? To be able to do it effectively and cleanly. And that's like the ultimate test of it. Because 0 to 19, eventually you don't really need to soft drop as much. But anyways, Nathan with a little bit of a predicament, but PH obviously not in the scoring position anyway, so both players just need to clean up here. PH with the more natural 0-9 to clean up though. Oh, actually has a Tetris.
Yep.
It's a big Tetris.
That gives them just a little bit more wiggle room now. Although Nathan is trying to find a way to get a Tetris here, but I don't think it's going to work out. They do have 2 rows to work with. Oh, with that double I dependency on the left forces another I to have to be wasted into the stack, and this is going to be rough. There's the eyepiece, though.
Yeah, these late game Tetrises are going to be worth so much. As the levels increase, the Tetrises are worth more points. So with a game as close as it is 26k, every Tetris is monumental. Because I don't think, it doesn't seem like these players are as tuned into these later levels, right? So if Nathan gets 1 or 2 Tetrises, that can maybe secure the game, really.
Yeah, but this is going to be a little bit tricky. Okay, they just got it over. Nice.
But PH fires back with the Tetris of their own.
Yeah, I think both players are realizing that they just have to play aggressive now and try to go for as many Tetrises, even if it is not necessarily the top of the stack, but placing a lot more Minos on the left side there with the left wall might make it a little bit harder. Okay, there we go.
That's it, though. That's the lead for Nathan. So the risk pays off, and yeah, risk aversion or risk management is also super important in Classic, and sometimes you do want to take those risks, especially if you know, like, okay, we're getting into these later levels, I might as well just try to go hard for these Tetrises right now. It's like how the pros are when they approach level 29 if they're not roll capable. They're just going to try to get as many Tetrises only in, like, say, level 27, level 28.
Yeah, and they were able to get another Tetris here to be able to open up the middle section of their stack there. Finally able to get another Mino down there. PH is still stuck in a bit of a dig, and now they're on level 16, so we're 1 level before hitting the actual 19, or not 1 level, but 1 speed level away from hitting the level 19 transition. I think they might be able to make it to 18, but they opt to not go for the single. And Nathan is now stuck in the... Oh, no. The eye...
Oh, gets a long bar.
Oh, just barely. Yeah, there's another Tetris here.
It's like 1 frame away.
They tried to go for the spin. Unfortunately, couldn't get it, but now, they're one line away. All right, level 16. One of the final frontiers here for both players. But it looks like PH was able to survive, and Nathan couldn't get the eye over.
All right, so now it's up to PH.
Yeah.
I don't know how comfortable PH... So 19 is a huge hurdle in terms of speed. It's pretty much like double the... Oh, man. Nice game, though.
Unfortunate.
I think that was the right move, just to try to build up for a Tetris, like I was saying, and just be like, okay.
Yeah.
19, I might not be able to get any Tetrises, and I might top out, so let's try to get these Tetrises on 17 and 18, and PH had the runway to do it, but just stacked a little too close to the sun. That was a good match. Good matchup. Nicely done.
Yep. GG's.
GG. All right, so on to our... possibly our final game here. Let's see. Ignacia versus Grasspelt. And Grasspelt is going to bring some fun custom settings here. Let me show what we are changing here. All right, what was it? So Ultra and T-Spin bonuses. So Ultra. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they want the roll template to be Ultra, and then the Tetramino randomizer to be limited.
Rule template. Okay, I changed battle type. Got it.
Yeah.
Rule template Ultra, Tetramino, randomizer limited. So a little more friendly than Classic, but it's still going to be fairly random, especially since you have one piece preview. And T-Spin's 100. So we'll have T-Spin bonuses this game. A T-Spin double will be worth the same amount as a Tetris, and a T-Spin single will be worth half of a Tetris. Yeah.
And then there's also a 50% all clear.
Oh, okay. If that counts. Probably the most rare thing you'll see is scoring for all clears in the classic Tetris world. But that should be 50% of a Tetris, I believe, so not the biggest bonus. Okay, so let me get this ready. Okay, when you two are ready, I'm ready. Good luck, have fun. Oh, that was your first time at level 16 speed? Like organically, I suppose. Very nice. Ooh. Yeah, 16 through 18 is... yeah, that's where you start at competitively in the big boy tournaments. So nicely done, Nathan.
Let's see what speed they end up choosing here. I think Graspel wants to start at 11.
Okay, and if it ends up being too much, we could always reset or run it back. I think Ignacia can throw down, though. They have won some of our TEC UWC community tiers in the past.
Okay. Tetris for both players, both at 100% Tetris rate. We're starting to see the limited pieces kick in here.
Mm-hmm.
So not as big of droughts, not as big of a drought that you would normally see, but they still can happen.
Yeah, I'm curious what the max drought possible is with a limited bag.
It is not that high. The issue you run into is that it seems to be every single time that you get a certain piece, you start creating another drought of another piece, and then you keep alternating between the two. So at some point you start getting a bunch of I pieces, but you're missing out on other pieces. So the game tries to overcorrect that, and then gives you a bunch of the other pieces, and you start missing out on I pieces.
Got it. I don't think I've played Classic with Limited yet. I've tried like Score Attack with Limited, but
it's an interesting mechanic, but it does give you a lot of chances to just get more points here, and I think we're starting to see Ignacio might have to end up, breaking that 100% Tetris rate, but they were able to keep it for quite a while.
You know, it's an interesting challenge is to try to maintain 100% Tetris rate on 7-bag in custom games. It's a little harder than you would expect, but it does show you, like, it's good practice for fundamentals in the sense of keeping a perfect 9-0 well, right? Because in theory, you should be able to keep a perfect Tetris rate on a 7-bag, but it's actually easier said than done because of the one-piece preview and classic nature.
Yeah. Graspel over here trying to go for a few more T-spins. We love to see it, but this is, we're starting to get into a bit of a drought here. Couldn't use the eyepiece, but Ignacio is also kind of in their own situation here. There's the eyepiece, there's the Tetris, and they're ready for another one. So is Graspel, so we'll see who actually comes out on top here.
This is pretty close. Oh, hangs the long bar there, though.
Yeah, but there is another J piece. Are they able to get a piece over? They might not. And so we might be able to see the whole. Okay, they barely get it. Nice. But there is 11 seconds left. Ignacio needs to get a Tetris here right now.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. You might see the change, but there it is. Graspel also has one. Oh!
So silly.
Right at the end.
Oh my god. We can do another round of that.
Yeah.
What was that?
This was
3-minute
3
round?
minutes. Yeah.
Run it back. It's pretty intense,
ready to run it
especially because they're pretty similar skill level. The Ultra format is like, it's pretty cool in that sense. And up the speed a little bit here.
Yep. Saying that 3D background is groovy. It is. We like seeing it change a lot in the background.
Welcome in, Freyho.
Yep.
There's a lot in Tetris Effect you don't appreciate as a player because you might be so focused when you're actually playing, especially when you're just watching journey mode and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I guess if you're playing in VR, it's more immersive in that sense, where you can like you see it. You can't not see it in a 3D space, right? But yeah, Tetris Effect art and graphics are super cool. If you're just watching as a spectator as well. Shout out to Ishihara-san.
Dressball is really going for these T-spins here, but is unfortunately missing them. And this just gives more time for Ignacio to be able to build up a lead. And now that they have that 2 touches lead, I think they're just trying to clean up, get another well ready. Grassball's just kind of stuck here. I'm going to go for their own dig.
Nice Tetris for Grass Pelt. Ignacia looking really strong out of the gate here.
Yeah. Although this is a pretty awkward stack here, yeah. Unfortunately, can't really go for the T-spin. They are Tetris ready. There's a Tetris. And yeah, they notice that they have to focus on the down stack here.
I think Ignacia is playing a little bit more knowing the format now. I feel like I'm noticing a lot more soft dropping from Ignacia just to play against time here.
Grasspelt misses another T-spin there on level 18. It's unfortunate. It is a little bit trickier because you only have, what, 2 frames? 3 frames to hit it.
Yeah. It might be more forgiving than 3 on 13.
Is this 13 or I thought this was 18?
So 13 to 15, I think is. Probably
yeah, okay, my bad. I misread this. I thought this was 18.
Because it is 3 on 18, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this is a little bit slow, but like, I see the 1-8, and I was like, no, there's a random speck of dust in the back on my side. On the back of the 13 that looks like an 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can see it.
But yeah, it looks like Grasspelt's kind of in a tough spot here. Ooh, they end up topping out. And unfortunately, yeah, 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go.
Time is up. All right.
GG.
Do we leave it at 1-1 and do a handshake, or do we do a decider? What's the move, Ferox?
Yeah, up to. I want to leave it up to the players here.
Yeah.
Do they want to go for another round 3?
We could do an encore. I think this is our last game.
Yeah.
Anyways. Up to the players.
I do think we have one other match after this. We have.
Okay. You find someone for
Bunhelmana versus Tizago. And then Blank is currently waiting for a match.
Okay. If there's any stragglers, we'll get them in here.
Mm-hmm. If anybody is around 6,900 SR and they want to play, they can go up against Blink. Not Blink, unfortunately. We do get Blink. Alright, level 12 speeds. Grasspelt, kind of a tricky spot here. I'm going to tuck this J piece. But they do get it, and we're starting to see a little bit of a drought here, but it never ends up reaching 13. And that is a Tetris. Grasspelt's going to have to use that eye piece to build the stack. But this center well is kind of tricky, and it just gives Ignacio more time to be able to get more Tetrises. I think with limited, the real question here is: do you want to go for Tetrises or do you want to try to stack for T spins? Because you're not necessarily guaranteed, but you are given more chances to get T pieces.
Ideally, both. I probably would try to stack a center well, of some kind, like a 5-4 well, with the well closer to the right side because of how classic works, but with a chance to get the T spins if it makes sense. Or I guess you could go 0-9 and prop or do like Kaiden kind of setups, right? Prop an S or a Z piece.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, it's obviously not super explored, but it's fun in theory.
Yeah, because if it's 7 bag, it's obviously you'd want to try to go for center well because you are guaranteed to get a T piece and like the actual pieces to make the overhang. But limited is still sort of random, so
yeah,
trying to go for something here. Yeah, Grasspop just realized that they were finally getting an O piece there and had to like micro adjust the eye placement.
I think generally I'd still lean towards 0-9 or 9-0 and then mix in T spins on top of it.
Oh, but unless he's in a really bad spot here, just barely gets the eyepiece over.
Ooh, this is looking tough. Oh, that hang might.
That's gonna do it there. Yeah.
All right. GG's. Nice games, you two.
GG's.
That's so fun. Ultra's always fun, especially when it's not a main ranked mode. It's fun to see the custom settings here. But okay, cool. I think we can move on into. Is it Dune versus Tazago, if I'm not mistaken? Or Mana versus Tazago? Dune Hail Mana.
Yep.
Cool. If you two are listening, I will reset the room settings before I forget. All right. So Tazago and Dune Hail Mana. Lobby is open. I forgot to ask. Anyone playing any new games? Any plans for the 3-day weekend? Are you playing anything new, Tazago, or kind of on the same grind with your current game library? Oh, hello, Ferox.
Hello.
Oh, did you hear me? I didn't hear you for a sec. But are you playing any new games?
Oh yeah, no, I've been here. Oh, I heard you say Tazago, and I was like,
oh, I'm sorry.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Same to you, Tazago, if you're listening. You playing any
yeah.
games? Yeah.
For anyone in chat.
Yeah.
No, I'm still playing the same games right now.
I did tell you I was playing Balatro, and I did finish just about every. I was just trying to unlock everything. I got every deck unlocked almost. I have to do like one more stake.
Orange stake is fun.
I downloaded some games I haven't opened up yet. I do want to play Elden Ring for the first time because of the co-op coming out, which I want to play with some buddies. But I don't know why I've been waiting so long to do that, because I know I'm going to like the game. Maybe that's why I've been waiting to do it. All right, so double Tetris here. So we got Mana on the left and Tazago on the right. Bloodborne. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Souls games. I've never been like drawn to them, but I haven't really played them. Was what I mean. I might like them, but maybe not my first choice of genre. But we'll see with Elden Ring, and that might be a good intro to it.
Both players are kind of in a really tricky spot here.
Yeah. Survival is important.
Oh, but yeah.
Early top out. We'll see if Tazago can clean up for science here. No, we're just going to top out too.
Nope.
Yeah, we can run that back. Tazago plays in a lot of our community tournaments. If I were to guess, we'll be signing up for the Galactic Community League, which I recommend everyone here to do because of how it's formatted. You're likely to find other players around your skill level with the Swiss bracket, the longer or the more matches you play. So check that out. That's in our Enhanced Discord in the Community Tournaments channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think their website is like galactic.mo, like Mo from The Simpsons. MOE.
Yeah. They've been trying to run a lot of things away from Microsoft Forms, Google Forms.
Yeah, it is cool to see that they're kind of doing their own thing, making their own systems and stuff. I like that.
Yeah. Really awkward spot here for Dune, though. Looks like they're gonna find a way to downstack here. Yeah, it pays off. Should be Tetris ready now. There's a long bar. Boom, Tetris here. And Tizago is kind of in a bit of a dig, but they do have about 2 Tetris lead. 3 Tetris. I misread that number at the start. I did not see the 54. I saw it as a different number.
Nice adjustments from Tizago to make their way down there. And yeah, just looking to get Tetris ready. That T-piece is crucial, actually. Yeah, very nice to fill in that jagged gap there, setting it vertically. And ready to score. This is kind of a... Well, actually, yeah, Tizago, yeah, maintaining the lead here can accrue a larger lead. And meanwhile, Mana here needs to bring it down and start to score. But it's still really early on, like 40 lines within 18. Yeah. These score gaps, because they're on a higher level, they're not quite as far as you would think. If you are on a level 5 start, this is a massive score gap, right? But
yeah,
if Tizago gets into any downstacking trouble, runs into any misdrops, Dune can easily get back into this.
Yeah, but I think Dune's running into their own stacking situation here. They've been stuck in a dig for a while now.
Uh-oh, you're getting a little hairy. No long bars. Need something to fill in the right.
No long bars, no JLIs. Oh, that left side might be, unfortunate. GG's.
Yeah, I think we still have time for one more if you two are down. So I'll go styling with a two. Oh, 4 wide. 4 wide action. 4 wide is probably the worst thing in classic Tetris.
Never change.
Unless you're going for the min-out strats. There have been community tournaments where you are supposed to get the lowest... What is it? It's like the lowest score possible. It's called a min-out. Without topping out, of course. All right. Oh, did they leave? Okay, I think Mana is going to call it there. So GG. GG's you two. Then I think we might get a match here for Blank, right?
Yeah, I think Graspelt stepped up.
Okay.
Yep.
And that will be our final match tonight. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. I did expect a lower turnout tonight. We do have a 3-day weekend here in America, in the U.S. So a lot of people are going to be traveling and whatnot. We're actually moving tomorrow's voicing out to next weekend for that reason. So be sure to hang out next weekend for the full moon hangout in our community Discord at discord.gg/enhance. Okay, yeah, Grasspelt and Blink when you're ready. Hop on in here. Nasia going to attend the grand opening of a business tomorrow. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting. All right, yeah. So Blink, the room code is in the Discord when you're ready if you're listening.
I think here I will go ahead and shut down Furbot.
Oh, good night, Fairbot.
Yep.
Also, by the way, so yeah, next week we'll have a showcase as normal. I'll be traveling a bit in June, and I think Ferox might take the helm on a few showcases, at least one. So yeah, I might be out of town, and Ferox will be taking over this live stream, maybe with help of some of our other enhanced mods. But yeah, you better not burn the place down while I'm gone.
I am going to leak everything about the up and coming game Lemmings. Humanity 2, obviously.
Okay.
We're definitely going to get another Humanity game showing up. It's called Lemmings. I believe it was released back in 19-something. We're re-releasing it because,
Shout out to Lemmings. Great game. You know what is also an amazing game, possibly better? Humanity. Available on PS5, PS4, Xbox, Quest, and Steam.
Yep.
We're at our Humanity Hub this week. Good times. We do it on a monthly basis now. But, all right. Anyways. Got Blank on the left and Grasspelt on the right. Level 15 start here. What's up with the person that has there been somebody in our voice chat on mute?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was just one person. This might be Mike 2.0, not gonna lie. Oh, that's a really late.
As I was checking our Discord, somebody topped out.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll definitely run that back here.
Yeah.
I could always kick them from the voice channel.
Yeah,
I did notice we have people. Okay, yeah. I noticed we have had some people using our voice channel more often, which is cool. But I didn't realize they were in there for that long. But yeah, no full moon hangout tomorrow. But of course, if you're looking to still hang out in voice chat and play Weekend Ritual or connected with others, feel free to do so. Ooh, rough soft drop there for Blink.
Oh, yeah. Blink is currently having joy key issues.
Happens to the best.
So yeah, there's a few rotations that end up getting flicked twice. It seems. Yeah, just like that Z piece.
Yeah, joy key can be finicky. There is a sweet spot for it.
Yeah,
as we know from our top classic score attack players in the TEC WC tournament use joy key with their NES controllers, which is super cool. And there definitely is a sweet spot. And Dog makes it look very just like normal NES at a certain point, which is impressive.
Yeah. I do believe there are also a few players in the both classic and merging both classic and enhance. Being able to create their own Arduino boards to actually try and mitigate as much latency as possible with the NES controllers. So shout out to Policy for that.
So having any control issues, Blink, you're welcome to try it one more time if you want. Otherwise, we can pin this and you'll have it ready for next time. Yeah, double flips can be very frustrating. I know what you mean. I actually started using a PlayStation controller and now the Hyperkin controller for that reason, because my NES adapter, it wasn't as consistent as I wanted it to be. So, and I just played DAS, so it's not like I need a hyper tap or anything like that. Yeah, welcome in. To join, you have to join the Discord. We are wrapping up here, but yeah, Discord at discord.gg/enhance. Thank you, Nathan. And pretty much every Friday, we run a community showcase, and players of any skill level are welcome to participate. Honestly, yeah, we encourage the newest of the new players to play. This is your chance to get in the limelight, and you don't have to be a pro player or anything like that. However, if you're a pro player, all the merrier. We'll get hyped for that. As long as the matches are close, we have a good time here. If you are in the Discord, it should say that the event is live right now. Just click on event details and you'll be brought to a thread. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a matchmaking thread that we do for every community showcase. Yeah. And it's also in the latest announcement ping. So we do community events ping every Friday, and we link it there as well. This time, grass pelt with some issues.
Mm-hmm.
This is classic core attack in its essence. Like, it's so brutal. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, the best players in the world will top out early too. It's just such a brutal rule set. But Blink this time taking the dub. So no long matches here, but we'll let Blink get a moment to have a moment to mull in here. And this will be our final round. And let's see if I can find someone to raid here on Twitch while you are playing here, Blink. But yeah, thank you everyone that did participate tonight. Do you know of any Tetris players streaming tonight or anything? Ferox, let me see.
Not that I know of.
Uh-oh. There goes our lobbies. All right, yeah. Thank you everyone that participated tonight. That was a fun showcase. A little shorter than usual. I think people are getting ready for the long weekend and stuff like that. But yeah, always a pleasure to have everyone come by week, play some classic matches, hang out, chat, learn a thing or two about whatever game mode we're playing. But and thank you, Ferox, for joining me once again on the mic. But yeah, we'll be moving tomorrow's full moon hangout to next Saturday, and we should have connected versus lined up for next Friday. So 3v1 action. If you're looking to team up or play the boss, that's usually my favorite showcase. It's the most casual, anyone can play, and the game mode's already imbalanced to a point where we're just gonna have fun, right? So I say imbalanced, but is there a better word for it? It's chaotic. It's a chaotic game mode.
It is a party mode.
Yeah, so party mode. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll have connected versus next Friday, same time. If you are looking to participate, I know we had was it Sura in our Twitch? So yeah, stop by next Friday if you want to play. And GG's everyone that played. So I'm gonna find someone to raid here on Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter/X, have a good night. Let's see. We do have Wumbo live. We have classic Tetris. What do you think? Wumbo ties or classic Tetris, Ferox? I'm gonna put all the pressure on you.
I think we are gonna have to yell at Shen again for not looking at my DMs.
Oh my goodness.
I was looking for the tech categories.
Oh, okay. Are they streaming tech?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Cool. Zeno, are you familiar with this player?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say hi to Zeno, Xino, and see what they're up to. Are they playing single player, playing multiplayer here? Let's see.
They're playing master mode.
Master mode, cool. All right, so let's root them on in the Master Effect mode, not for the faint of heart. I think that's the official description when you open it.
Yeah.
But all right, everyone have a good night. Have a good 3-day weekend if you're here in the Americas, and take it easy. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.